I'm a multi-passionate person, and if you're watching this video, then maybe you are too. So if you've ever wanted to scream into the void when someone tells you you need to niche down because you don't even understand what that means, or if you have followed a posting plan on social media and you are getting no views and no sales and no engagement because you're actually just doing what somebody else is telling you to do and it doesn't feel aligned with you, then these are signs that you are also multi-passionate, and potentially that is one of the problems that you are facing in your business because you are trying to fit yourself into somebody else's rule book. This is something that I have realized this year that is not working for me, and I have decided to rip up that rule book, and I'm not following anyone's advice anymore. I have learned from the most amazing mentors in my mentoring business. They have taught me things that I definitely wouldn't have got to this stage in my business without knowing. But equally, I have found that some of the things that many mentors teach that are basic business strategies just don't align or fit with how I like to run my own business. And it's only been from realizing that I am a multi-passionate and that trying to niche down is never going to work for me that has actually helped me to move forward in my business and has made me realize that actually sometimes the rule book doesn't fit for you, and that is absolutely fine. So for years, I have felt like I am scattered, I am unorganized, maybe I am ADHD, I am not sure. I am definitely undiagnosed, but it's something that I have had in the back of my mind. And I've never felt like I quite resonate with every single thing that another business mentor tells me. I've never quite felt aligned with everything they've said. I've never felt like anything has properly clicked and I've gone, oh yeah, that's why that didn't work for me. And I've realized actually over the years that it's not that I am unscattered, it is not that I am unfocused, but actually that those things don't work for somebody with multiple passions who just doesn't want to let go of the other things that they love in their life and the other things they want to talk about in their business and the other things that they want to bring into their business world, because it doesn't feel aligned to let those things go and only focusing on one thing. The more I have grown and built my businesses, the more I've realized that this is actually my creative advantage. Being multi-passionate is actually my superpower. Because your multiple passions, they are probably not random, they are patterns. They're clues that point towards what your brain is built to make. So the key isn't to shut them down or force yourself to niche down into just one specific area. It is to embrace those multiple passions and find the golden thread between them that is going to help you to use those passions intentionally and actually build a brand around all of those things that you love that make sense to the one person that you're selling to, your customer. Now, if you've been around here for more than 5 minutes, you will know I despise the word niche. I think it is overused, I think it is misinterpreted, and I think it is not actually the word that we are searching for. And also, I just don't like the word and the way it sounds, especially when people say niche. Sorry. But the reason that I genuinely don't believe in the traditional use of the word niche is that creative people don't think in lanes. We think in ecosystems. Most traditional business advice comes from people who thrive in linear thinking. Pick one niche, one lane, one social media platform, one product. And whilst I absolutely agree that we need to streamline our focus and make sure we are not spreading ourselves too thin, sometimes that is so restrictive for creative people who actually need that flow and that movement around different kind of areas of their business and different areas of their life in order to feel fulfilled. And the reason I say creatives think in ecosystems is because often the things that we love are overlapping a lot more than we realize. There is usually a shared theme underneath all of that we can tie together in that golden thread, even if on the surface it doesn't look like that way. For example, my creative ecosystem is I absolutely thrive on marketing and e-commerce strategies. I love that stuff. But I also need to have the creative outlets of my design work that I create. I also absolutely need the breaks in my day and the breaks in my business brain to actually just be silly and spend time with my dogs. I have a strong pull to visual aesthetics and identity, and I love to create things that are visually appealing, both in my products but around my home and in my life as well. I've also always been really interested in consumer psychology and behavior, and I love mentoring other people, I love helping other people, and I love explaining these things that go on in my brain to other people so that they can apply them into their businesses too. All of these things feed each other. None of them are isolated things that I can only focus on at one time. They all feed into each other and they are all essential parts of me as a person in the same way that you have all of these essential parts of you as a person. And when you start to see your business as an ecosystem of all of these things that you have permission to talk about, you have permission to embrace, and you can start building things around your natural creative patterns, it becomes less about niching down and more about what is this world and this ecosystem that I'm creating that my customers want to be a part of. That is how you build a personal brand without feeling scattered, and personal brands are going to be the number one thing that sets you apart in a world of AI in 2026 and beyond when people are craving human connection. And that is basically rooted in everything that I teach here, in my memberships, everywhere that I help and support other sellers. I teach them to build for a customer, to be so invested in that one customer, to understand them so deeply that you are not building for a niche. You are not building to fit into a certain box. You are building for this one person, and you're building for yourself. And when you build for that customer instead of for a rigid niche, you get to expand, to pivot, and to evolve beyond what you initially created. And yet everything stays cohesive. And this is the big thing that I just realized, is that my golden thread isn't these individual brands, these individual businesses. I am not just building businesses for the sake of it. Every single business I build is built around this one customer. That is the golden thread. Everything I build is for my customer. And that is how you are going to succeed as a multi-passionate too, by keeping that one customer in mind, but bringing all of those things that you want to bring to the world in for that customer. And maybe that means having multiple shops and multiple streams of your business, or maybe it means bringing them all under one umbrella. In my wedding shop, which is my main Etsy shop, I love design aesthetics. I love typography. I love the event element. I love the planning element. I love hosting. I love the aesthetics. And I use those passions to build a brand my brides love. For my brand new dog brand, I absolutely love dogs. I love casual aesthetics. I love wearing an outfit that, yeah, is probably going to be covered in dog hair and mud, but I still feel put together and a little bit aesthetic. I love my weekend walks. And I love creating products for other dog mums who feel that way too. And in my membership and my mentoring, I love strategy. I love consumer behavior. I love creativity and simplicity. And I use those passions to help my members and my mentees create products and brands that their customers love. And so all in all, we are using our passions to channel into something that our customers want to receive. Think of it like a car. Your passion is the engine that keeps things ticking forward, and the direction that we put into that sat nav is your customer destination. She is guiding us in the right direction. All those passions and all those things that we love are fueling the car to move forward in that direction. That's a bit of a weird analogy, but I hope it makes sense. My membership, the Seller Society, for example, this is built around helping other creatives find their passion and channel that into a business that makes sense for their customer in a way that feels right for them. I teach strategies that those big brands that I worked for use, but I also show you how to use it in your own way that feels right for you and your business. So all in all, your multiple passions, they are not just a distraction, they are a growth system when you learn how to turn those idea sparks into these small experiments that you can test as you go. My new Etsy shop is the perfect example of this. It started as this spark that wouldn't go out and it kept reigniting, and then it turned into a 48-hour hyperfixation that led to a brand that has made 5 sales already. And that is now a repeatable process I know I will lean into in the future. When I feel this pull, when I feel this drag to just do something, I'm gonna do it. And I think that all in all, that is how multi-passionate sellers are going to win in 2026 and beyond. Follow the spark. Create quickly, validate fast, refine what works, drop what doesn't, and then repeat it with the next idea you have. Stop letting yourself be boxed in by a niche and start really thinking about what that golden thread is between the passions that you have. And this is what I'm planning to document a little bit more openly going forward, because this is basically how I work behind the scenes. It's just always felt too messy to share it publicly. But I've realized that it is the main catalyst for all of the success I've had in my business. It's acting on those little sparks and not allowing myself to be boxed in by someone else's rules. So I really just want to start showing you the messy middle, the creative experiments, the pivots, the creative bursts that blossom into great ideas. The days where ideas click, but also the days where they don't. Because trust me, there is plenty of those too. And the biggest thing I've learned from those is to not let them be setbacks, but let them be learnings to push myself forward in the right direction, to recourse correct, right? And I won't be sharing them as productivity hacks because I realize that that's not what I need, but actually I'll be sharing them as the person who is walking by your side doing the same thing you are doing. I'm building these brands with you and showing you my real thought process as I go. Because if I can turn my multi-passionate brain into multiple income streams, then you absolutely can too. And I strongly believe that 2026 is going to be the year of the multi-passionate. It's going to be the year of the creative. It's going to be the year of the personal brand that actually connects with their customers and actually shows up for the people that they are serving, instead of hiding behind polished reels and polished carousels and all of that stuff, which can be great on the surface, but actually doesn't give you the depth that you need to see how a real person is building a real brand and a real business. So definitely hit subscribe because I'll be sharing so much more of this. And if you want even more in-depth kind of behind the scenes of this as well, then you know where to find us inside the Seller Society, which is our community where I am sharing all of the nitty-gritty behind the scenes day by day. Every single day I share a little bit of what I'm working on and what's working and what's not. And I would love to see you inside. I'll catch you later.